Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I got pulled up here the Capital One Journey credit card from Capital One, obviously. And I'm just going to go over it, kind of point the highlights out, do the usual. Just do a credit card review of it, give y'all some information. Maybe some of y'all find it useful. So, with that being disclaimer put out of the way, let's get into this. Okay, so I got pulled up here the Capital One Journey. This is a student. They tailor it more toward like college students is what this card's for. But it's their student credit card. And here's one of the things I want to preface with cards like these. They're geared toward college students that have no credit history. Like if you have zero credit history, like not any, then you might be able to apply for these cards and they would go ahead and approve you for one of these cards with, like, let's say a $200, $300, $400 limit. They're giving you, think of it like this, they're giving you a little bit of money to see if you can manage it properly. That way later on down the road they can give you more money for you to be able to manage it properly. They're testing the waters to see how good you can manage the money that they give you. That's the whole idea of these cards. So they're not going to have a lot of thrills. They're not going to have a lot of extras or anything like that. They're just pretty well bare bones cards that might have some benefits, but they're not going to be anything extraordinary at all. So, but they are easier to get if you have no credit history. Now, if you have a little bit of credit history, but it's bad, these cards, they're not even going to take one look at you. They're going to tell you to hit the road and go somewhere else and get a secured card. They're not even going to deal with giving you one of these cards. They want you to put your money up. If you've got a little bit of bad credit, they want you to put your money up as you having skin in the game. So these are not cards that you use to rebuild your credit. But, excuse me, y'all. Okay, here's some of the stuff they offer through this card. This one in particular, they offer a $60 streaming subscription credit. Earn $5 per month for 12 months on select streaming subscriptions when you pay on time. Exclusions apply. Well, we know that. But basically, for the first 12 months of you having the card, they're going to give you $5 a month to put on your Netflix bill if you want to. And then these cards earn 1% cash back on all of your purchase. If you pay on time, they'll up it to 1.25%, which ain't a lot, but it's a nice gesture. Again, they're testing the waters to see, can you manage their cards? Can you manage the money that they give you? It's a test for you. Now, this card has a $0 annual fee, and the purchase APR is on the high side, 26.99% APR a year. Okay, and then they give you access to their credit wise. It's just a free credit score and kind of like a semi credit report. So you get the card, they give you access to this to basically tell you where you're at, how you're doing on your credit, that kind of thing. Now, one thing that Capital One does with a lot of their entry level cards, which is a good thing, I really appreciate the fact that they do these kind of thing, is they do automatic credit line reviews. Be automatically considered for a higher credit line in as little as 6 months. So 6 months into it, if you paid your bill in full on time every single month, they're probably going to give you a credit limit increase. They're not guaranteeing it, but they're saying, okay, if you do this, more than likely we'll do this, which is that's definitely nice. And then they have the Capital One Assistant. I don't bother with that crap, but if you want to look into it and maybe use it, okay, it's there for you. And no foreign transaction fees. Capital One with most of their cards is pretty good about this. If you go overseas and use their cards, they're not going to charge you a foreign transaction fee, which will save you a lot of money. A lot of other credit card companies will make you pay a foreign transaction fee. So be aware of that. That's kind of a nice thing that they do, and I'm glad they do it, because if you travel any overseas and you don't have access to like a travel card, these are really nice for putting spend over there if you buy coffee or something like that. Then they give you a little deal you can play around with. If you spend this much, this is how much. But and their mobile app, I've talked about this in previous videos. Their mobile app is really good. It's simple, it's clean. So I use it and I really like it. Each to their own, but me personally, I really like the simplicity. Everything's just right there, and they don't make it overly complicated. Okay, Capital One benefits, account alerts, like you can set it up to where every transaction you basically get a ding on your phone, which is nice. And balance transfers. Some credit cards through Capital One, they offer balance transfer offers. I don't know if they do or not with this card. You wouldn't really know unless you had it and they sent you one. But they do have the ability to give you balance transfer offers. Auto pay, you can add authorized users and all that. But let's get down into, of course, the meat and potatoes. What are the numbers? We go through this on every one of these videos that I do. So let's get into the numbers. Okay, the annual percentage APR for purchases and transfers. What they're referring to on transfers is the balance transfers. 26.99% APR, rounded up to 27%. They're going to charge you 27% for purchases and balance transfers if you carry a balance. APR for cash advances, the exact same thing. Paying interest. Your due date will be at least 25 days after the closing of each billing cycle. They give you 25 days to pay the bill in full and you don't pay any interest. Fees. Annual fee. They don't have one. Transfer fee. 3% of the amount of each transferred balance that posts to your account. Okay? So 3% on the amount transferred. Pretty simple. Cash advance, $10 or 3% of the amount of each cash advance. That's why if you do a cash advance, you're better off to just pull more out. That way it's the 3% instead of the $10. Penalty fees. If you make a late payment, you're going to give them $40. Pretty simple. Then they talk right here, how do you calculate balance? It's the average daily balance. Again, you can find people on YouTube that explain this, but it's a lot of complicated math for saying they're going to try to get as much interest as they can out of you. Okay. And then this is just kind of getting into the fine print. I always encourage you, if you're thinking that you would want a card like this, read the fine print. Go in here, actually get you a good look, read through all this stuff, and then decide, okay, maybe I understand the fine print, so maybe I want to go ahead and apply for this card. Okay, right here, something interesting. How do you calculate my minimum payment? If your balance is less than $25, your minimum payment will be equal to that balance. Otherwise, your minimum payment will be the greater of $25 or 1% of your balance plus new interest and late payment fees. We will also add any past due amount to your minimum payment. If your account charges off, the entire balance is due immediately. Then they say right here's a rewards program. How do I earn rewards? You will earn 1% cash back on net purchases minus any fees or any credits or returns only. Things that don't count toward the rewards, cash advances, balance transfers, and checks used to access your account are not considered purchases and will not earn rewards. Pretty simple. Okay, will my rewards ever expire? Your rewards are yours for the life of the account. They will not expire. But if your account closes, you lose all the rewards that you have not redeemed. So basically, if you let this account go into default, you lose all your cash back. Be aware of that. Just be aware of that. If they close the account, you lose it all. And then here, this is just more fine print. Again, if you think you want to look into this kind of card, read through this, make sure you understand it, and all that. Military specific, Military Lending Act notice. Read through that, make sure you understand it. Okay. Alright, and then they just give kind of the info. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty well the basis of this card. It's pretty simple. If you're a student just getting started in college or whatever and you need a credit card, you might look into something like this because they're probably going to be a little bit easier to get, especially if you have no credit history. Now, if you had bad credit history, you got to go to secured cards or trash cards or stuff like that. But if you're a college student and you're just getting started, you might look into one of these. They're not nothing special. You're not getting anything special from them, but they're not a bad card. And they're not charging you an annual fee, so that's always a good thing. But with that being said, y'all, I'm going to let y'all go, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a good one, y'all.